Hey, I'm Sunny, and welcome to Creepy Clips, my brand new channel dedicated to all things Dead by Daylight and horror movies. Here you'll find fun and awesome content geared towards every aspect of the entity's universe and the genre of film that DBD was inspired by. I've loved the genre of horror from a very early age, probably since the first time I seen A Nightmare on Elm Street. Dead by Daylight hits all the aspects of what I like in video games and horror. You got killers and you got survivors, both with their own objectives. Survivors to escape, killers to sacrifice. The fact that this game offers killers and survivors from the movies makes the experience even more fun and cinematic. I've been waiting for a game that offers these things, and Behavior has done just that. So I'm excited to share with you all what I've been working on over the last year in preparation for the channel. So without further ado, let's get into it. In today's video, the focus is going to be on what is, in my opinion, one of the top 5 horror icons that have ever sliced and slashed their way into all of our sick and depraved horror movie loving hearts, all the way to the silver screens of Hollywood. Michael Myers, The Shape, the Boogeyman, Stalker, whatever you want to call him, he's one of the scariest, devilish, and sadistic monsters in the horror genre. In the world of Dead by Daylight, there is no other killer on the roster of the entity that is this cold, this merciless, and intimidating as a stone cold killer, Mike Myers. He has been brutally knocking out, hooking, and ending the lives of a multitude of survivors to the one they call the Old One, the Abyss, the Hole, and most widely known as the Entity. Myers has been doing this since basically the start of DBD, back when he entered the fog way back on October 25th, 2016. Michael Myers is without question one of the most complete and true to form killers to its movie counterpart that the devs at Behavior have ever created. He's spooky, he's eerie, he's a jump scare threat, and creates an all year round energy of Halloween. Yeah, pun intended. So with the rumors swirling around about Mikey getting a rework, I just have one message for the devs. Please don't completely obliterate another iconic horror figure and leave him left weak and powerless so nobody plays him again like you did with the Nightmare. Myers is so good as he is. If there's a change at all that he should have, it should be a minimal buff. They could add in things like once he's in tier 3, like breaking pallets faster, haste after hooking a survivor, seeing the auras for a short period of time of other survivors who are not directly in his area. I also want to see a couple new add-ons. One could be to help him stalk faster from afar, so he doesn't get noticed as easily. A lot of the time, survivors can easily be able to hide by breaking line of sight. Once he's in tier 2, he can no longer be undetectable, unlike Ghostface, who can stalk in the shroud without any warning to survivors. So having him be able to stalk a little faster for a few seconds would be very beneficial. Now, to all the Mikey players out there, what's one new add-on you'd like to see him have added to his add-ons? I would like to see him have his own special Mori, like Sadako or the Executioner, something from the movies that would be really cool. He's the first major license that Behavior's gotten into the game, so if those two killers that came way later can have that as an option, why can't he? Let me know what special Mori you would like to see him have in the fog. If Behavior does decide to make any changes to the shape, they don't need to be big ones. I like the add-ons he has now: extending tier 3, reduction of terror radius, increasing stalk rate, movement speed increase while stalking, seeing auras of survivors while in the stalking mode, killing injured or healthy survivors, and even being in the unlimited tier 3 status. Reality sets in quick when survivors go into the fog and end up going face to face against the shape. There's so many trials I've been in where the killer is nowhere to be found, and then all of a sudden you hear the tier 2 music and your headphones are on your TV, and survivors, well, the smart survivors scatter knowing the shape is now the killer, and it could be them that is being stalked up and downed or instantly killed. Now, I've done some research around the DBD community, and I found there is concern around his evil within mechanic and how it should be changed. So I just want to go over this and my thoughts, as well as a simple fix for this. So let's dive in. His special ability is called Evil Within. Evil Within is a tiered power system that requires the shape to stalk survivors and drain evil from their shared pool to tier up. The more he stalks them, the more deadlier he becomes. Evil Within 1 has the following permanent effects until a tier up. It grants a permanent undetectable status effect, but reduces his movement speed to 4.2 meters a second. His reach of his lunge attack was reduced by shortening the duration of its open time to 0.2 seconds. And finally, he vaults windows in the default time of 1.7 seconds. Evil Within 2 has the following permanent effects until a tier up. His tear radius is reduced to 16 meters, but increases his movement speed back to the default of 4.6 meters a second. His lunge attack is increased and put back to the default time of 0.5 seconds, while the time it takes in the vault windows is reduced to 1.48 seconds. Evil Within 3 has the following effects for 60 seconds, after which it automatically regresses back to Evil Within 2. The most dangerous effect of Evil Within 3 causes all survivors to suffer from the exposed status effect. His tear radius is increased back to the default radius of 32 meters. The reach of his lunge attack is increased by extending the duration of its open time to 0.6 seconds, while further reducing the time it takes to vault windows to 1.275 seconds. On to Mikey's special ability, Stalking. Press and hold the power button to stalk all visible survivors within 40 meters. Stalk survivors are highlighted to the shape. The color of their highlight indicates the amount of evil left to drain from them, ranging from white, which is full, to red, which is drained. Stalking survivors fills the power gauge. The closer to a survivor he gets, the quicker it fills. The shape can only drain evil from one survivor at a time, prioritizing the closest to him. Next up, stock points and evil. Stock points per Evil Within tier, 5 stock points. Stock points are obtained by stalking survivors who are in the shape's field of view, draining them of their evil. The stock point reservoir per trial is 40.4 stock points. This reservoir is evenly distributed across all survivors loading into a trial. In a regular trial, this results in each survivor having 10.1 stock points the shape can obtain from them. Now to the power depletion mechanic. The Evil Within power gauge depletes by 5 stock points whenever Evil Within 3 elapses from this mechanic. Assuming there are no add-ons equipped that increase the number of stock points the shape must acquire to reach Evil Within 3 for the first time, this will reset the power gauge to an empty Evil Within 2. If there are any add-ons equipped that increase the number of stock points the shape must acquire to reach Evil Within 3 for the first time, this will reset the power gauge to a partially filled Evil Within 2. Stalk range from 2.5 meters will take Myers 6 seconds to get to the next tier, and stalking from 39.85 meters, it'll take 60 seconds. So distance matters greatly to gain stock points from survivors. Now let's take a look at Mikey's perks. All 3 of them are centered around the obsession, keeping true to his character from the movies. Each of them filling him with more and more sadistic energy to release upon his victims. Save the best for last allows the shape to recover faster from basic attacks and attacking again more quickly by gaining tokens after attacking anyone but the obsession. Play with your food allows you to gain up to a maximum of 3 tokens by chasing your obsession and letting them get away. The trade offer for this one is, for every token you gain up to a maximum of 15% haste. Dying Light is the last of the shape's perks. You're obsessed with one survivor, while your obsession gains a 33% action bonus to unhooking and healing other survivors. Each time a survivor is hooked, other than the obsession, you gain a token. If the obsession is alive, all other survivors are dealt a 3% penalty to repair, healing, and sabotage speeds for each token. So after all of that, here's what I really think about the shape needing a rework. First off, to answer the question in the first place, does he need a rework as so many people say he does? Well, quite simply, no. Now keep in mind, as a killer, the shape is my main. If players actually realize how powerful he actually is, they wouldn't want him changed. Behavior would most likely overdo it and leave us with a version of him that honestly wouldn't be nearly as good as the one we have now. Like I said earlier in this video, again, my opinion only, Behavior's best and most accurate killer that has ever been created for the roster of psychos. From his clothes to his weapons, and of course his iconic and universal known mask, his biography, his add-ons, his perks, even his creepy breathing. All of it contributes to a licensed killer that was perfectly done. Now, why do I think nothing should be changed besides that one add-on I mentioned earlier? Well, simply because he doesn't need any changes. If you play him to his strengths, in combination to all he comes with, and the use of other perks in the game, you can have a really competitive match every match. The thought process as a killer has to be to play to that killer's strength. Michael isn't the type of killer to fly around the map, or intoxicate you with bottles, or even catch you in a trap. Myers was the first pick in the Dead by Daylight draft of killers that Behavior wanted to help breathe life into their game. He's methodical and full of merciless rage. Some say he's not a snowball killer, but yet he can still get more than one down during his most dangerous moments. He's a jump scare, pop out of nowhere, snatch you off a generator type killer. He has the capability to find you quite far away and find you while using the most basic part of his power, the Stalk, which can lessen the amount of time walking around and looking for survivors. To the most strongest part of his power, the add-on he has in Tuft of Hair, which can allow him to become an avalanche of death, making him a one-hit down unstoppable killer, keeping him in tier 3. Yes, it does take longer to reach Evil Within 3 while using Tuft of Hair, but that's what J. Myers' Memorial add-on is for. Sometimes it's just a matter of really getting to know a killer and learning everything there is to know about them and utilizing what they have and being devilishly ruthless against survivors you go against. I mean, think about this. In the latest stats that were released in February of this year, Michael was the 7th most picked killer and even cracked the top 10 most deadliest killers in the entire game. Just think, it's been a really long time since a rework of any sort. The last time was back on November 6th of 2023. Since then, many new killers have joined the fog, and Myers is still taking 2 of the top 10 spots in both picked and most deadliest stat categories in Dead by Daylight. Now, 2 things we haven't seen for this Halloween chapter yet. The first, no tome. Just another missed opportunity to increase the backstory of the Shape with video footage. The second, why is there no other skins besides Michael and Mori? Maybe you all could help me understand this. I could be wrong, but according to people online, the first Halloween is the license Behavior has, and the relationship between them and the licensor is allegedly a good one. Now, these are just people from Reddit, and not anyone that actually knows for sure. So going down this channel of information, if the license is for the first Halloween, and the relationship between the 2 parties is good, why haven't we seen any more content for this chapter? If not now, why not back then? One of the most beloved characters in the franchise, Dr. Loomis, should have been most definitely added into the chapter as a skin. By the way, quick question. When you think of Michael Myers, who do you think of more, Laurie Strode or Dr. Loomis? This chapter was the saving grace of DVD when it was considered to be a dead game. So why wouldn't they have done more with the skins, the maps, voice lines, anything at all to push the chapter even more? After I did a little more digging on Reddit, I found more information, but take this with a grain of salt. Apparently, nothing has been added since the release because it's been basically coming down to too much work and too much money being needed to be put out and not enough of a profit coming back in. If Behavior wanted to add more to the Halloween chapter, they would have to have renegotiated the license. So that being said, again, if the relationship between the 2 is a good one, you would think that it would be easier to get more content into the game. Again, this has all been found by me from Reddit. I would love to know how much of this is true or not. So if there's anyone watching that knows that this Reddit information is credible, let me know. All in all, I just love the Halloween chapter and want more content from the movies in the game. Wait, there's actually a third thing we haven't seen in the Halloween chapter yet. Objects that every other chapter in the game besides I believe the Nightmare chapter has. It's something everybody loves. Charms! I mean, how hard would it have been to include a few little charms to put on your killer hooks or on your survivor's waistline? So in closing, I just want the developers to remember what a horror icon they have in Michael Myers. So before you go and start changing things around, because there are some people in the community who think he needs changes, just know how good you've made him already. Well, that's gonna wrap up the very first video here at Creepy Clips on Halloween night. This was a fun experience going over the shape. Michael Myers is in my top 3 favorite killers of all time. What about you? Who's in your top 3? I've learned some new things myself about him, and I hope you all have too. My point with this video was just to show how powerful this killer is, and in my opinion, doesn't need a rework. I know there are a lot of people out there that might agree with me, and some that might not, but either way, I'm looking forward to seeing your comments as to if you think he needs a rework or not. I hope you have enjoyed the video and found it entertaining. I also want to thank you for taking the time to watch my video. As fans of horror and Dead by Daylight, if you want to see more of this type of content, I'd be really thankful and appreciative if you could hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. As a brand new channel, that support would really help me grow here on YouTube and get out to more fans of Dead by Daylight. This kill from the original Halloween is one of my favorites Mikey has ever committed. If you could pick one, what would be your favorite kill that the Shape has ever committed? If there's a video that you would like to see me do, let me know down in the comments. I hope you all have a safe and spooky Halloween. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time here at Creepy Clips.